Today's attempted assassination of Iran's president could trigger a regional firestorm. The targeted assassin was Ebrahim Raisi, aka the Butcher of Tehran. Now, if that name doesn't ring a bell for you, then listen to this. During the late 1980s, Raisi oversaw the killings of thousands of Iranian political dissidents, and now he is the sitting president of Iran. He is responsible for the deaths of many protesters in the ongoing demonstrations, and he's on the U.S. sanctions list, so we know all about him. But today he survived an assassination attempt by a group calling itself the Homeland Party of Justice. They're not affiliated with any known government agency. They claim they're patriots, but what we really know is this: the target was high value, and as we shall see, the response has been swift and deadly. So let's get into it. This is no longer a border conflict. It's turning global. Here's some breaking news from earlier today. A bomb exploded at the site of a funeral for two Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps officers who were killed yesterday in a clash with Iranian Kurdish rebels along the border with Iraq. And we have some more breaking news coming out of the very same region. Iranian state TV is reporting that 3 people were killed in an explosion at a cemetery near the city of Sugis. There were also reportedly some wounded. Those are the details we have right now. We do know that the site of the bombing is close to a military base, and we can tell you that the victims appear to be supporters of the regime. But there are conflicting reports about who carried out the attack. Iranian state TV blamed the Iranian Kurdish group called Kemallah, but they didn't offer any proof. But Kemallah denied responsibility. Instead, they issued this statement through their media office: "We strongly condemn this crime against humanity, which shows the criminal and terrorist nature of the Islamic Republic. Whoever committed this crime bears the full responsibility and will be held accountable by the people of Kurdistan." Okay, so between these two statements, we don't really know who's responsible. But here's what we do know. In the past 24 hours, there was a car bombing in northwest Iran that left 83 people dead. Those victims were almost exclusively ethnic and religious minorities. It was a brutal attack. Then just hours later, 2 IRGC officers were killed in clashes with Iranian Kurdish rebels. Then tonight, another explosion, this time targeting the funeral of those 2 slain IRGC officers. Clearly, tensions are extremely high right now in Iran, and things are going to get even worse as the death toll continues to rise. The outlook for stability in the region is extremely bleak. ClearLine News provides daily updates on global events that other news organizations simply ignore. In today's video, for example, we're covering multiple attacks inside Iran. We're also covering the latest breaking news out of Israel, Lebanon, and Syria. You won't find this type of coverage anywhere else. We bring you the most important news from around the world, so you can stay one step ahead of everyone else. And while you're on the website, make sure to sign up for our free newsletter. That's where you'll find exclusive columns and in-depth articles written by our team of analysts. And now back to today's breaking news. Earlier today, we covered the assassination attempt against Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi. Now this was a big deal because he is the second most powerful man in Iran, behind Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khomeini. He is responsible for the deaths of many protesters. And according to the United States, he greenlit the seizure of 2 oil tankers last month. In response to this attack, Iran closed all public universities for 2 weeks, and they've imposed internet restrictions across the country. And now they're vowing revenge. We're getting some fresh details about the attack now. Apparently, Raisi had just finished speaking at a university when his motorcade came under attack. 3 assailants were waiting for him. They opened fire on the presidential convoy, then threw grenades. The attackers were wearing uniforms belonging to Iran's paramilitary force called the Basij. They even used a Basij truck as a bomb vehicle. That's according to the semi-official Fars news agency. One of the attackers detonated a suicide vest. Another was killed by security forces. And the 3rd suspect is still at large. Thankfully, Raisi and his family were unharmed. But this was a bold attack. The assailants were willing to die to take out Iran's president. So how did they get so close? Well, we're starting to find out about that as well. Apparently, the attackers were able to infiltrate the university campus by posing as students. Security forces apparently allowed them to enter without a search. And minutes later, they were carrying out the attack. Right now, the Iranian government is in crisis mode. They are desperate to find the mastermind behind this plot. According to one report, the Iranian Intelligence Ministry is offering a reward of $1 million for information leading to the capture of the third suspect. They're taking this very seriously. The Interior Ministry has ordered all universities to shut down for 2 weeks and ban gatherings. They're even restricting travel. ID checks are being set up throughout the country. Now, this is in typical fashion for Iran's leadership. They use any excuse to crack down on their own people. But this time they have a good reason. The authorities are genuinely concerned that this attack was just the beginning. Now, before we go, we need to talk about the other major breaking news story coming out of the region today. Israel conducted airstrikes against a site inside Syria overnight. According to the Syrian military, they intercepted most of the Israeli missiles, but some did break through. Now, we don't know what the target was or why Israel felt compelled to strike, but we do know that pro-Iran militias were present in the area. The Syrian military made that claim. Now, remember, Israel rarely comments on such operations. They usually remain silent, but in recent months, there has been a lot of chatter coming out of Tel Aviv. They've become more open about conducting hundreds of airstrikes against Iran and its allies inside Syria over the past several years. For example, in September, the IDF released this footage showing the destruction of a weapons convoy in northwestern Syria. They said that the target was a shipment of advanced rockets bound for Lebanon. It was destined for Hezbollah. Then in October, the Israeli Defense Forces released footage of another airstrike. This time they destroyed a shipment of advanced UAVs again headed for Hezbollah. They believe these drones were supplied by Iran. And that same month, the Israel Defense Forces published footage of yet another airstrike in northwestern Syria. They claimed that they were targeting advanced missiles and attack drones once again. So what's the significance here? Why are these strikes happening? Well, we've explained this many times before. Israel considers Iran's presence in Syria to be a red line. They want Iran out of the country, and they're very willing to use military force to remove them. In fact, it's becoming more likely that the two countries will eventually go to war over this issue. Iran has been inching closer to Israel's border in Syria. They're just a few miles away now from the Golan Heights, and if they were to cross that border, then all bets are off. Israel would have no choice but to intervene. But this isn't 1982. Syria is a much different place than it was then. They have a much stronger military today. So a ground war between Israel and Syria is something to be avoided. What we're seeing right now is a shadow war. Both sides are trying to avoid direct confrontation. Israel wants to cripple Iran's military infrastructure in Syria. Meanwhile, Iran is trying to push Israel into a larger conflict. So far, it hasn't worked, but we'll continue to monitor the situation. Things are heating up in the Middle East. Today's bombing in Iran may be just the start of something much bigger. You won't get this type of analysis anywhere else. And until tomorrow, thank you for watching. God bless you, and remember, never hold your peace. Hey, everyone, thanks for checking out the video. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe and be sure to click the notification bell so you never miss a video. If you want to support the work we do, go to our website and join one of our membership tiers. As a member, you'll get exclusive access to our newsletter, our Discord server, and our live streams. Again, thanks for watching. Until next time, never hold your peace.